Bloom where you planted and be a blessing. Bloom where you planted and brighten up the day. Brighten up the morning, brighten up the night. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Let your light make the day sing your love. Let the stars shine. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Bloom where you planted and be a blessing. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Let your light make the day sing your love. Let the stars shine. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Bloom where you planted and be a blessing. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Let your light make the day sing your love. Let the stars shine. And every little thing's gonna be alright. Bloom where you planted and be a blessing. And every little thing's gonna be alright. When I think about what state I was in when I wrote that song, when I think about where I was when I wrote that song, when I believe God gives us these poems. My aunt had just passed, my Aunt Virginia, and I was grieving when this poem was written, and I always think to myself, how was I able to write something that was inspirational, or bright during a dark time? And I realized that God meets us. He meets our needs. He gives us light in our dark times. And my aunt Virginia was a very inspirational person. These words, bloom where you planted and be a blessing. That's her life. She was inspiring to me. She was a nurse, and I would call her. She was more than just my aunt. She was my aunt, of course, but she was like a friend. So when we got the news that she passed, it was devastating. I cried like a baby. I never knew could have this kind of pain. It hurt us. It hurt the family. We just wasn't ready for that news. But God gave me these inspirational words to be a blessing to others. It blessed me. It was a blessing to me. And this is what my aunt would have said, because she was very generous. She was very inspiring. She would always talk about positivity, being positive. And that's how she lived her life. She inspired so many people. She was a wonderful person, and I'm gonna miss her. Sometimes I'm just driving in my car, or just thinking, maybe I see someone who looks like her, or I think about her, and tears will come out my eyes. This poem, Bloom Where You Planted, is from my new book, my new poetry book, And the Word Dwelt Among Us, the poetry of Zane, St.Juste. And this poem is called Bloom and Be a Blessing. Bloom and Be a Blessing.